the chairman, House Committee on Legislative Compliance, and look for our resolution on this, and let there be a follow-up letters to all the various agencies. And we can now write another one to community development. At least let them create, even communities can create neighborhood watch or whatever they want to call it to guide these facilities. Everything may not be government. And particularly this season, this period will require maximum security and safety of life. Thank you very much. Leader of the House, can you quickly take us through the order of the day?
Thank you, my dear colleagues. I have the order paper for Friday, 27 December 2024 here with me. And on the order of the day, there are 4 items. Items 1 is a motion on the need to recognize and legalize the Peace Corps and make them functional in Ekiti State. Items 2 is the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology on Ekiti State Senior Secondary School Board Bill 2024. Items 4 is the consideration of the report of the Committee on Finance and Appropriation on the year 2025 Appropriation Bill, while item 4 is adjournment. Right, Honourable Speaker? You may... Yes.
You can run through item 1.
So, item 1, you may direct Honourable Babatunde Omotayo from his room to seek the leave of the House for his motion to be heard.
Yes, Honourable Omotayo, can you just move to get the leave of this House for you to be heard on this motion?
Right, Honourable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honourable Babatunde Omotayo. I represent the good people of Iseorun constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to seek for a relief to be heard on a motion to recognize and legitimize the Peace Corps as an auxiliary security outfit to complement the efforts of other security agencies in Ekiti State. I so move.
Honourable Aliaja Mayam Ogunlade to second the motion.
The Right Honourable Speaker, sir, distinguished parliamentarians, I rise this afternoon to second the motion moved by Honourable Babatunde Omotayo representing Iseorun to be heard on a motion to recognize and legalize the Peace Corps and make them functional in Ekiti State. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Well, dear colleagues, the leave of this House has been sought by the mover and also seconded that the House grant leave for this motion to be heard. So, and the motion is on the need to recognize and legalize the Peace Corps and make them functional in Ekiti State. If you are in support that this House grant the leave, say aye. If you against, say nay. The ayes have it. Honourable Omotayo, you have been hold on. The leave of the House has been granted for you to be heard, and definitely you will be heard, but that might not be today. So, at the next allotted date, you will be heard adequately. Prepare for the next sitting to be fully heard. Thank you. Or you want to hear him today? You want to hear him today? Another day. Thank you. All right. Oduwanta. Yes, Leader of the House. Item 2.
Right, Honourable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I'm very sure we're going to be very fast today, given Mr. Speaker's proactiveness. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the next item is item 2, and is the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology on Ekiti State Senior Secondary School Board Bill 2024. This is to be presented by the chairman, Honorable Jacob Adeyemi Awoniyi. Right, Speaker, you may now direct him to present his report to the House.
Honorable Awoniyi, can you quickly present your report before the House?
The Right Honorable Speaker, sir, distinguished honorable members of the House, I'm Honorable Jacob Adeyemi Awoniyi, and I'm representing Member Constituency 2. I rise this afternoon to present the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology in respect of Ekiti State Senior Secondary School Board Bill 2024. Preamble. The Right Honorable Speaker and distinguished honorable colleagues, you will recall the Committee of the Ekiti State Senior Secondary School Bill 2024 at the plenary sitting of Thursday, 28 November 2024, to the House Committee on Education, Science and Technology for further legislative consideration. This is a bill aiming at establishing a board that will be responsible for the management of public senior secondary schools, as well as setting up an effective functional monitoring and supervising unit in collaboration with the National Senior Secondary Education Commission Fund, NSSEC Fund, in bracket. The bill, when passed into law, will also rejig the senior secondary education in the state in terms of regulatory and financial interventions, which hitherto have been extended to primary education through SUBEB and tertiary education through TET Fund, NBTE, NCC accordingly. Methodology. The committee had an interface with the Ministry of Education on the bill, being the major stakeholder in the education sector, where some sensitive clauses in the bill were discussed and resolved. The legal officer of the House was also consulted for advice on some sections and clauses of the bill. Proposed amendment. Arising from the committee's observation and findings, the following are therefore presented to the House for possible incorporation into the bill. Interpretation. Section 2, line 4. To avoid ambiguity in the definition of the board, add education to now read education board. 2. Section 2, line 15. Insert the noun Ekiti between Article D and word governor to now read the Ekiti State Governor. 3. Teachers mean teachers in the public senior secondary school. Establishment and composition of the board. Section 3(2)(b). Change the preposition between the word director and Article D to now read the permanent secretary or a representative not below a director from the Ministry of Education. Section 3(2)(c). Change the preposition between the word director and Article D to now read the permanent secretary or a representative not below a director from the Ministry of Finance. Section 3(2)(e). Add the phrase with at least 10 years cognate experience in the service to now read a representative of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, a serving teacher from the secondary school sector with at least 10 years cognate experience in service. Section 3(2)(g). Add the phrase with at least 10 years cognate experience in the service to now read a representative of the non-academic staff union of secondary school sector with at least 10 years cognate experience in the service. Appreciation. The committee expressed their profound appreciation to the Right Honorable Speaker and the entire honorable members for the privilege given to serve in this capacity. The Right Honorable and my distinguished honorable members, on behalf of the committee, I hereby present before you this report for your consideration. Members of the committee, Honorable Jacob Adeyemi Awoniyi, Chairman, Honorable Johnson Oyekola Bode Adeoye, Vice Chairman, Honorable Femi Fatunla, Member, Honorable Oladele
Leader of the
Ogunshaki,
House.
member, Honorable Babatunde Oke, member, and Mr. Olajide Adebayo, committee clerk.
Honorable Wuni, can you step forward to present and lay your report, please? Thank you very much, and thank you very much for a job well done. I can say that the committee has done a great job. Well done, well done. Yes, Chairman, House Committee on Education, well done. And to your members, well done. It was a deep one. Leader of the House.
Speaker, Right, Speaker, I want to move a motion that this report, as submitted by the Committee on Education, Science and Technology in respect of the state.
It has now been laid. Not just submitted, but now laid.
Has now laid that this document be adopted as a working document of this Honorable House. I so move.
I call on Honorable Dele Ogunshaki to second that motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Oladele Ogunshaki. I represent the good people of Ekiti East Consensus 1. I rise this afternoon to second the motion moved by the majority leader that the appropriation bill has been submitted and as to be accepted as a working document.
Honorable Dele Ogunshaki is in Brampton or Ontario or in Ottawa. Come back to Ado Ekiti.
Sorry, Right Honorable Speaker, that the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology in respect of Ekiti State Senior Secondary School Board, Bill 2024, be adopted as a working document of this Honorable House. I so second.
Thank you very much. And I put the question that if you're in support that this House adopt as a working document of this House the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology in respect of Ekiti State Senior Secondary School Board Bill 2024, say aye. And if you're against, say nay. The ayes have it. Now we have the report. Remember, this bill went to second reading. Members of this House debated this bill thoroughly, but we are not done with it. We have a committee on education to go and look at it. And they have done a great job on it by looking at everything. And they came up with this report. And in the report, they have few amendments to the bill. And for us to pass this bill, it will require the committee of the whole House to further consider the report of the committee. And looking at this period, members, despite your commitment and dedication and sacrifice, I also think I should allow you to have time for your family during this period. It's on that note that we will step this down till another allotted date for consideration by the committee of the whole House. Thank you. So at our next allotted date, Leader of the House, note that we are going to consider this report. On that note, I call on the Leader of the House. Yes, Leader. Committee on Education, step forward. Thank you very much. This report will be considered at the next allotted date. Thank you. Yes, Leader of the House.
Honorable Speaker, the next item is the consideration of the report of Committee on Finance and Operation on year 2025 Operation Bill. Honorable Speaker, you remember that this was done at the Committee of Supply. In order to treat this, I want to move a motion that this House dissolves the Committee of Supply so as to further treat the Appropriation Bill 2025 second allotted day. I so move.
Yes, I recall vividly. So, Honorable Biodun Fawekun, can you second that motion?
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I am Babatunde Abiodun Fawekun. I represent those constituency 1. I rise to second the motion as moved by the majority leader that this House do dissolve to Committee on Supply for the consideration of 2025 appropriation bill. So I second.
Thank you very much. You know, this is money bill and it requires serious. So on that note, we are going to vote. We're using electronic pad. If you are in support that this are dissolved to the Committee of Supply to consider the report of the Committee on Finance and Appropriation, having taken cognizance of various reports from subcommittees, press yes. And if you're against, press nay. But don't forget, this is budget required for 2025. So, yes. Thank you very much. 23 people voted. None abstained. And at the end of the poll, 23 people voted in favor. So the ayes have it. We dissolve to the Committee of Supply. Dear colleagues, you will recall that on Tuesday, the 29th day of October 2024, in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and also in line with the standing orders of this House, Mr. Governor was here to present the 2025 appropriation bill, otherwise known as 2025 budget. And on that day, the first reading of this bill, appropriation bill, was read. And you also recall that on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, this House, we members took turns to debate this bill, speaking to the budget. And having done that, the second reading of the bill was done, and the bill was committed to the Committee of Finance and Appropriation and other committees of this House as subcommittee. And I'm aware that at the committee level, public hearing was carried out. And not just that alone, you are equally aware that various committees of this House invited all MDAs, ministry, department, agencies, institutions, to appear before the committees to defend their budgets. And I'm aware that members drill these heads of processor so as to ensure that what we have in the budget are right things that align with the key priority areas of Mr. Governor's vision, particularly the 6 pillars of his administration, and also in line with the yearnings and aspirations of our people. And having done that, reports from various committees were submitted to the Committee of Finance and Appropriation. And the Committee of Finance and Appropriation also took time to look at those reports and again consider the gray areas. And after that, they came up with a report, the report that was read and laid before this House on the 24th day of December 2024. And the House further committed the report to the Committee of Supply to consider this report of the Committee of Finance and Appropriation, which is what we are about to do. I took time to take us through all this, that in line with SIFTA's requirement, this House has met all conditions, starting with the presentation from the 24th, 29th of October. We have been able to complete this 8-week cycle. And I can say that in Nigeria, Ekiti State, by the grace of God, is taking the lead in ensuring that requirements for the passage of appropriation are met. And that we have done. I know of some states where budgets were presented about 1 week, and within 1 week, the budget was passed. But here in Ekiti State, we've been able to ensure that all necessary requirements are met and ensure that the budget is not just passed. Don't forget again that this year budget is based on zero base, and we have. I must first of all, as the chairman of this Committee of Supplies, commend every member for your dedication and for doing a great job on this budget. I'm proud to say that I am proud to be a member of this 7th Assembly for the yeoman's job that you have done and for doing a great job. Anywhere we can defend this, we can say that we have done great well on this budget. On that note, I will also want us now to look into the report to be so sure that this report is the aggregate opinion of all committees and is in line with what we have done in our various committees, so that we don't leave anything. And I will allow members that has comments, or if your constituency has been shortchanged, you can still talk, and let's see if that could be corrected immediately. So, can we just go through the report? Recall that the committee, after all details of examining, agreed that the size of the 2025 appropriation shall stand at 375 billion 799 million 77,618 naira 15 kobo only, meaning that the committee and the committee of supply, because you have the power to approve or refuse approval, you have the power to adjust, either to remove, deduct, or add. So I put it to you that, do you agree that this House allow the sum of 375 billion 790 million 618,015 kobo to stand as the appropriation for year 2025? If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Also, having debated, discussed, held public hearing, and ensure that MDAs defend their budgets, the committee came up with this report at the end of it that for the opening balance for 2025, we shall have the sum of 19 billion, meaning that what is expected at the January 1st is 19 billion 135 million 819,593 naira 81 kobo. If you are supposed to say aye. Also, well, this is based on speculation. I mean that in year 2025, the statutory allocation expected, like I said, is based on speculation. But as part of our effort to ensure that we have proper planning and budgeting, the committee has approved, has suggested for approval of this committee of supply, the sum of 168 billion 153 million 147,237 naira and 3 kobo as our expected statutory allocation for year 2025. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Also, as part of revenue, our receipt expectation for year 2025 for value-added tax, we agree. The committee recommended the sum of 54 billion 923 million 862,414 naira 79 kobo. If you agree to this, say aye. If you are against, say nay. And part of what has been considered by this committee is the current ongoing discussion on tax reform, believing that Ekiti will also have its own share. And that is part of our speculations. And we are also looking at independent revenue of 29 billion and 69 million 979,951 naira 67 kobo as speculation on independent revenue. If you are in support that this fourth part of this bill, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Also, we are expecting on capital receipts for year 2025 the sum of 104 billion 507 million 268,420 naira 80. Is that 85? 85 kobo. If you are in support, say aye. If I against, say nay. At the end of it all, the total revenue that we are expecting, I am taking it from the report, we are considering the reports. So please look at the reports. I'm on page 3. Page 3 of the report. Thank you. I'm on page 3, where sometimes you may likely be on the same book, reading different pages. Possibly that is what you have here. 1, 2, 3. I'm on page 3 of the report. Report. Page 3. Eh? Yes, I'm very correct. I'm on page 3. I'm on page 3 on item 5. Reading the bill. I said the report. We are considering the report of the committee, not the bill. Take your report, not the bill. Meanwhile, don't mind me, I use the word speculation instead of projection. We are projecting, sorry please. We're projecting. So we are on page 5. So, and the committee came up that at the end of it all, the total expected revenue projected now, our projection for year 2025 shall stand at projection for revenue shall stand at 375 billion, 790 million and 77,618 naira 15 kobo. If you are in support of the, say aye. If you're against, say nay. And you remember those things they put in the consideration are the ones we have mentioned earlier. We are looking at FAC, our projection on what we are going to get from FAC. We are looking at value-added tax. We also look at independent revenue. We're looking at capital receipts. And one thing you will consider, this budget appropriation for 2025, we are not thinking of borrowing. I think you should know that. We are not thinking of borrowing a dime from anywhere. Very, very important. And meaning that we will work on our IGR, which is part of our independent revenue for the year. Also, committee observed so many things which we have done because committee look at the MTEF. And the House has also looked at the MTES, which was approved on the 24th day of December. Part of what we did was to make little adjustments to the MTEF because this budget was prepared in line with MTEF 2025 to 2027. So, I therefore take us to page well, we look at the key parameters, which are very, very key. And one of the key parameters adopted for year 2025 budget of preparation under page 4 are crude oil price benchmark, which is very reasonable, $75 per barrel. That is one of the key parameters that they use. That is the crude oil price benchmark. It's a projection. And our oil production benchmark at 1.6500 million barrels per day. We pray that we have more than that, particularly with the effort of the federal government to tackle the issue of insecurity. Once security challenges are tackled, then we can increase our production. Also, the inflation rate is put at 27%, and we look at our mineral ratio of 18%, and our real GDP growth at 3%. These are key parameter assumptions and indicators that the committee has actually considered in this report. So, dear colleagues, we feel the orders were made by the committee, and because of the work you have done at our various committee, the committee submitted and look at the reports from various committees and make some reordering. That was done. And at the end of the day, the committee recommended, and I'm going to read their recommendations for your approval now. Number one, the committee recommended that the personnel costs for year 2025 budget will stand as 60 billion 653 million 60 billion 653 million and 68,000 and 87 naira 60 kobo. That is the recommendation for personnel costs. And you may be wondering why the increment in the personnel costs compared to last year is because of the current minimum wage that has been approved in Ekiti State. And that is why this is the reason why the committee jack up the personnel cost to 60 billion. If you are in support that the personnel cost for year 2025 shall stand at 60 billion 653 million and 68,000 and 87 naira 60 kobo, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Also, they also look at the other one to legislature overheads. Also, they look at it and they consider statutory transfer to legislature, then grants and subsidies. They look at other statutory grants to judiciary. They also look at debt services. They look at subtotal at the end of it all. At the end of it, we have capital expenditure sector. And the committee look at it and agree and recommended that the sum of 183 billion 463 million 507 naira 1,129 naira 54 kobo shall become our capital expenditure, which will represent 30% of the total budget, and that will be the capital expenditure. If you are supposed to say aye, if you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Also, they consider the administrative sector, economic sector. They also look at law and justice sector, social sector, and at the end of the day, they recommend for law and justice sector, they recommended a sum of 1 billion and 27 million 569,000 and 13 naira 8 kobo for law and justice sector. Also for social sector, they recommended 26 billion 490 million 545,000 487 naira 34 kobo. If you are in support of all this, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. The committee went further to also propose the sum of 183 billion at the end of it all. They now recommended 183 billion 463. Chairman, appropriation, please, can you step forward? Thank you. Only recognize the chief whip on that. The chief whip.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. Sorry, the Chairman, House Committee on Supply. As you can see, we've lowered the maize. We're on committee level.
We are at committee level.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
The maize is lowered already.
Yes.
We are at committee level.
Yes.
We are at committee level.
So she can pass.
Honorable Tapenuke, overrule. You are overruled. You are overruled. So now we will now take the appropriation bill. I haven't considered the report unless I have any comment from member on that report. Any comment from member on the report? Do we agree and adopt the committee report? All right. Then we take the appropriation bill now. Having considered the report of the committee and which represents the aggregate opinion of all members, we have all worked on the bill, on the budget. We now take the bill. 2025 appropriation bill. Of 2025, Ekiti State, Nigeria. This House, having considered all factors, we will look at the title of the bill so that we don't put it at 2026, so that we will not wait till 2026 before we can allow government to start spending. So the title shall be 2025 appropriation bill. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Also, that's the title. And for commencement, it's also important. You can have appropriation bill 2025 and you ask that the commencement starts in December 2025. So let's look at it critically so that the commencement is in January. So the commencement date for this bill shall be January 2025. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. And the enactment of this law by the Ekiti State House of Assembly shall be as follows. Appropriation 1. And I will read and I will put the question. The Accountant General of Ekiti State may, when authorized to do so by warrant, signed by the Commissioner for Finance, payout of the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Ekiti during the financial year ending 31st December 2025, the sum specified warrant not exceeding in aggregate the 2025 estimate of 375 billion 790 million 77,618 naira 15 kobo. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Meaning that the Accountant General of Ekiti State can now pay out from the sum of 375 billion and with a warrant signed by the Commissioner of by the Finance Commissioner. I haven't gotten the approval of Mr. Governor. Very, very important. 2, the amount mentioned in subsection 1 of this section shall be appropriated to head of expenditure specified in Schedule 1 and 2 to the law we will consider Schedule 1 and 2. Do we consider it now or we just move there later? Move there later. Oh, we consider it now. Because when you passed it, you have given credence to Schedule 1 and 2 already. Let's go and look at Schedule 1 and 2. Let's go to Schedule 1 and 2. The first schedule says, recurrent expenditure. Personnel cost, the sum of 60,653,068,087 naira 16 kobo. For statutory transfer, personnel, legislature 1,855,000,000, and for the overhead 84 billion, no million, sorry, billion overheads, okay, 84 billion 771,492,423 naira 77 kobo. And also for statutory transfer overhead, legi 4,102,716,270 naira 86 kobo. And for grant and subsidies, sum of 36,439,293,706 naira 82 kobo. For statutory transfer, grants to judiciary, 3,840,000,000. While debt services shall stand at 400 million, and in all totaling totaling 192 billion 61,570,488 naira 61 kobo. If you are, no, let's take schedule 2 also. The second schedule. The capital expenditure. Administrative sector shall take 24 billion 241,786,474 naira 63 kobo. While economic sector has been appropriated with a sum of 131,606,154 naira 48 kobo. Law and justice sector shall take has been appropriated with a sum of 1,027,569,013 kobo. And 13 naira 8 kobo. While social sector has been appropriated with a sum of 26,490,545,487 naira and 35 kobo. Regional sector nil. At the end of it, the total capital expenditure stands at 183 billion 728 million 507,129 naira 54 kobo. So we will now take section 2 back, having considered schedule 1 and schedule 2, that is the first schedule and second schedule. So the amount mentioned in subsection 1 of this section shall be appropriated to head of expenditure specified in schedule 1 and 2 to the law. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Now, under subsection 3 of appropriation 1, no part of the amount aforesaid shall be issued from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Ekiti State after the end of year mentioned in subsection 1 of this section, meaning that at the end of December 31st, 2025, no amount can be drawn from this budget anymore. If you're in support, say aye. If you're against, say nay. The ayes have it. Lastly, I will want us to adopt the talk schedule. The first and second has been adopted. So, and the talk schedule states details of revenue, and at the end of it, we have 19,135,819,593 naira 81 kobo for statutory allocation fact, as reported in the report of the Finance and Appropriation, are now incorporated to the talk schedule. The sum of 168,153,147,237 naira 3 kobo shall become our statutory allocation for year 2025, and also as reported earlier, are now incorporated into the talk schedule. For value-added tax, we have 54,923,862,414 naira 79 kobo. Just like I mentioned earlier, when we were considering the report of the committee, we consider independent revenue, and that has also been incorporated into the tax schedule, and the sum of 29 billion and 69,979,941 naira 67 kobo has been projected into the tax schedule as our independent revenue, while our capital receipts earlier discussed under our report has also been incorporated, and the projection is 104 billion 268,420 naira 85 kobo. At the end of it all, the total revenue projected stands, earlier mentioned in the report, now incorporated into the tax schedule, is 375 billion 790 million and 77,618 naira 15 kobo. If you are in support that this form part of the law, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. And this is the end of this committee of supply meeting. We can now go back to report to the House. Leader of the House, can you just move the motion that the House reverts to plenary?
Right, Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, having exhausted the activities of the Committee of Supply, I want to move a motion that this House reverts back to plenary. I so move.
All right. I don't want to be accused of gender insensitivity. On that note, I call on the chief whip to second the motion.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Honorable Bose Olowokere, representing the special and wonderful republic in Nigeria, Efon Republic. I rise this afternoon to second the motion moved by the majority leader that having exhausted the activities of the Committee of Supply, that the House resolve back to
Plenary.
back to the plenary.
Thank you very much.
I so second.
So if you're in support that this House will reverse to plenary, say aye. And if I against, say nay. The ayes have it. Dear colleague, thank you and welcome back to plenary session. You will recall that this House dissolved to Committee of Supply to consider the report of Committee of Finance and Appropriation, who rendered their report and laid it before this House on 24th day of December 2025. And like I mentioned, at the Committee of Supply, the Governor of Ekiti State, in fulfillment of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is, the 1999 Constitution, Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, appeared before this House and presented year 2025 budget. And first reading of the budget was done that day. On Thursday, the 7th day of November 2024, members of this House, we took turn to consider that budget. It was thoroughly debated. Every member debated the budget. And during this period also, the budget and appropriation bill was committed to the Committee of Finance and Appropriation. And all other committees of this House actually become a subcommittee. And I'm aware that public hearing was held right inside this chamber. Members of the public were invited, head of various institutions, parastatals, agencies, KBSDs, every other people were invited to participate. And the budget was thoroughly again debated at the public hearing. And also committees of this House invited all heads and of agencies, ministries, departments to defend their budget proposal before this House. And after that, reports were rendered to the Committee of Finance and Appropriation. Committee of Finance and Appropriation again took turn to look at various reports from various committees and also invited some ministries to clear here on some gray area. And after that, the committee wrote their report, presented the report before this House on the 24th day of October 20 of December. I don't know what I'm talking about, October. Is there anything in October? December 2024. And having done that, the committee committed the report to the Committee of the whole House. Committee of Supply. Committee of Supply also sat on the 27th day of December 2024 to consider that report. And that report was again thoroughly debated, considered thoroughly. And here we are today to get the report of that Committee of Supply. I now call on the Leader of the House to quickly give summary of the report of Committee of Supply. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, Mr. Capacity, the speaking speaker, the Omaye of Ayedu and Ekiti States. My dear colleagues,
I am still waiting. You have informed this House that you want to also give me a title in your Atemure. I am waiting. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Yeah, it was resolved at the Committee of Supply that the commencement of this appropriation bill will be January 2025. It was equally resolved that the Accountant General of this state may, when authorized, do so by warrant signed by the Commissioner of Finance, pay out of the consolidated revenue of the state during this financial year ending 31st December, the sum specified by warrant not exceeding in aggregate the 2025 estimate of 375 billion 790 million 75,618 naira 15 kobo. It was also agreed under appropriation schedules 1, 2, 3. Schedule 1 being the recurrent expenditure with details that the total sum of recurrent expenditure will be 192 billion 61 million 570,488 naira 61 kobo. Under schedules 2, the capital expenditure, it was also resolved that it will be 183 billion 728 million 507,129 naira 54 kobo. The third schedule, which be revenue sources, having details of revenue from our opening balance to statutory allocation, value-added tax, independent revenue, and capital received, totaling 375 billion 790 million 077,618 naira 15 kobo, meaning that we have a budget that is neither deficit or surplus. I so report.
Honorable Yafo of Kwakunle Okemem, the princess from Ilejemeje, or is it Aye? Iye, can you please confirm if that report as rendered by the leader of the house was actually the true reflection of what transpired at our committee of supply?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Barrister Iyabo Fakunle Okeme, and I represent the good people of Ilejemeje constituency. I rise this afternoon to confirm that the report as given by the majority leader of the House is the true representation of our discussion on the said subject. I so move.
Thank you. Honorable Takodonge, yes, can you? Yes? No, I said, can you? No, now. Oh, yeah, now, can you? All right, thank you very much. Yes, members of the House, I will also put the question that if you are in support that the report as rendered by the leader of the House and confirmed by the member representing Ilejemeje constituency, a princess from EA, Ekiti, is correct, and the true reflection of what transpired at the Committee of Supply, say aye. If I get say nay, the ayes have it. To the last leg of this assignment that began 8 weeks ago, and that I know you have all done greatly. I know you have done so much. To the last leg of it. Public hearing, defense, debate, and all sorts of professionalism were brought into bear to ensure we have a very good, neat, proper budget for year 2025. Let me commend members of this House for doing a great job. I commend you. I commend you. And you ensure that SIFTA's requirement, not even that alone. I look at the number of members around just because of this passage of the and doing a yeoman's job. I look at the numbers of today. That really amazed me. Amazed me. I'm amazed. Really, this is commendable. I think Ekiti people should organize a day to celebrate members of this House. On that note, I will quickly put the questions and we look at it. That this appropriation, 2025 appropriation bill number 11 or 2025 Ekiti States of Nigeria, the title shall be 2025 appropriation bill. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. And the commencement date shall be 1st January 2025. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. And we agree that the Accountant General of a state, of Ekiti State, may authorize to do so by warrant signed by the Commissioner for Finance, payout of the consolidated revenue of Ekiti during the financial year ending 31st December 2025, the sum specified, one not exceeding in aggregate the 2025 estimate of 375 billion 799 million 77,618 naira 15 kobo, and that the amount mentioned in subsection 1 of this section shall be appropriated to head of expedition specified in schedule 1 and 2. And I will just take 1 and 2 section 1, 2 with the 2 schedules together. If you are in support that what is in subsection 2 and schedule 1 and schedule 2 be part of this law, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. No part of the amount aforesaid shall be issued from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of Ekiti State after the end of the year mentioned in subsection 1 of this section. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. And again, schedule 3. If you are in support that schedule 3, as agreed to at our committee of supply, form part of this appropriation bill, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. And lastly, the citation of this law shall be, this law may be cited as the 2025 appropriation law. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. On that note, I want to say, because I'm going to call the clerk any moment from now to take the 3rd reading, meaning that the budget is passed once she takes that. And the passage of budget means that this house has the power, and you have exercised that power to appropriate fund to be spent, and to also give approval for the spending. That is, to authorize. You are appropriating and you are authorizing. And that is the whole essence of section 1 of this law. You are authorizing payment. You are authorizing the Accountant General to make payment. You are authorizing the Commissioner of Finance to write a warrant, and you are authorizing the governor to give approval. So you are not only appropriating, you are also authorizing. And that is exactly what you are about to do now. And since members has agreed, I call on the clerk of this house to take the 3rd reading.
The capacity speaking speaker, distinguished parliamentarians of the 7th Assembly, year 2025 appropriation bill, 3rd reading. Thank you.
On that note, I state that the 2025 appropriation bill number 11 of 2025 Ekiti States of Nigeria has become law, waiting for Mr. Governor's assent. Once again, let me commend you members, dear colleagues, for that great job that you have done. Well done. Thank you very much. Leader of the House.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and my dear colleagues. It's been a wonderful day. I want to appreciate for your collaboration and contribution. I want to join Mr. Speaker in appreciating everybody too. Right Honorable Speaker, I have the other paper with me, and the last item.
Sorry, please, I can't hear you clearly. You have the other paper.
I have the other paper for Friday, 27 December 2024 here with me.
Okay.
Right, Honorable
Please,
Speaker.
dear colleagues, the first one was the other paper, and the other one is the other paper of December 27. Please ensure you get all the other paper from him.
Yes, sir. I say with authority that I have all the other papers with me. so members can see me after. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Having exhausted all the items for this other paper, Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to move a motion that this House adjourns Synod. I so move.
Well, I will take secondment, then Honorable Joba. Seconder. Yes, second.
Right Honorable Speaker and my distinguished colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion for adjournment Synod Assembly moved by the Leader of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. I will amend the motion, and I have the power to amend from here. And the amendment is simple. Rather than just adjourning Synod, this House shall go on break. We deserve that rest. So the House will go on break, and at least the break will be for 3 weeks. 3 weeks break. Before I put the question, permit me to recognize these great children. They are, when you see one of them, don't look far again to know Topelunge. I have at the gallery Ayodamopelunge, a student of public health from Bowen University. Where are you? Okay, you are welcome. I also have right there seated Oluwatetisimi. You want to go to Tetisi or Topelunge? Oluwatetisimi. And thank you very much. You are welcome. I don't know if there are other people, visitors from. Oh, that's great. Also aware that we have in our midst today the chairman of APC. Please sit down, please sit down. We have chairman of APC from 6 local governments. Am I correct? Of Ekiti South. They are from Ekiti South. We recognize you. These are leaders from Ekiti South. And if I'm correct, we have Bonyi there. We have Ekiti East there. We have Ikere there. We have, oh please. That cannot correct. Okay. Oh, this side. Ekiti South 2 or South 1? Southwest. Southwest. Okay, Southwest. Okay. Chairman from Southwest. Me, I have taken the Central District. From Bonyi, Ikere, Ekiti East, Iseorun, and Emure, and Ekiti Southwest. You are all welcome. Thank you. You are welcome. Yes, I'm also, if my eyes is sharp enough, I think I can see Ayomiposi Jamiu. Ayomiposi Jamiu, where are you? You are welcome. We have to recognize you. And that's the son of Right Honorable Akim Jamiu. You are welcome. And every other person that I can see from the gallery. And this is my own way of saying Happy New Year in advance. Year 2025 will be more fruitful than year 2024 in no ramification. Farmers will be praying for rain. We too are praying for more rains in year 2025. there shall be abundance, ceases, there shall be rains, and lines will fall in pleasant places for all of us. Year 2025 is going to be a year of fruitfulness for us all. I don't know what has made you very happy before now. That will be nothing compared to what is going to happen to you in 2025. You will have maximum joy. I wish all of us Happy New Year, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year. On that note, I put the question, where observation? Which observation is that? Topelunge? What are you observing?
Honorable Speaker.
Under motion for adjournment.
Right, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, once again, my name is Longe Temitope Ademola. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Oye Constituency 1. Mr. Speaker, under motion for adjournment, Mr. Speaker, I feel it will be a disservice for members of the 7th Assembly not to also commend your efforts in your attempt to take Ekiti, to join Mr. Governor to take Ekiti State to greater heights. Your leadership has been worthy of emulation. Your leadership has been commendable. And I want to specifically thank Mr. Governor for the support he has given to this house so far. I want to thank him for all he has done to alleviate the sufferings of Ekiti people, especially in times like this when we know what the country is going through. We also want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving us confidence, for giving us capacity, for giving us the right direction to function. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend my colleagues, distinguished parliamentarians of this 7th Assembly, for the confidence reposed in you as expressed in the vote of confidence passed on your person recently, Mr. Speaker. I want to reaffirm our commitment and loyalty to your leadership. And I want to say, in closing, Mr. Speaker, that we shall remain resolute in our commitment and function to your leadership, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
I think it's also important to state it that Mr. Governor has been very kind, wonderful, working with us and working together. This house, we've been working together. And we believe that year 2025 will have more things to do together. We will work together better than even 2024. And Mr. Governor, our sincere appreciation and for you to be a great Democrat. And to all Ekiti that are giving us mandate in 2024, it's been a great year together. We work together. And it's our promise that we'll continue to serve you, and to the best of our ability at ensuring that dividends of democracy are delivered to Ekiti people. To those who are looking to us for one thing or the other, and that we have not been able to meet your expectation, note that we are willing, and as much as we have the ability, we will continue to meet your yearnings and aspirations, even though no man can do it all. No one can meet the need of everyone. But we know that this house, members of this house, they have not checked in their responsibility to the people of Ekiti State. I have seen what members have done in their various constituencies, particularly during this Yuletide period, within the confines of our ability. But I believe that next year will also be a better year for all of us. On that note, I put the question, and you are going to vote. If you are in support that this house adjourn for break, and that means we will go synodal, even though it's on break, for 3 weeks to reconvene on the 3rd week of January at a date that will be announced to us to be announced to us at appropriate time. But sorry, please, before you vote, before I forget, this budget will be signed on Monday, 30th. Is it 30th? Yes, 30th. The budget will be signed by Mr. Governor on Monday the 30th at the ESCO chamber. Members who are all expected to be there to attend the signing of 2025 appropriation bill into law. Also, well, that one we announce to ourselves. Not here. Thank you very much. So, if you're in support that the House adjourn to the 3rd week of January 2025 at a date, 4th, 3 weeks, to the end of the 3rd week, maybe I put it that way, to the end of 3rd week, we can now come 4th week, to the end of 3rd week, January 2025, at a date that will be announced and communicated to us later, press yes. If you're against, feel free to press nay. All right, I need those 2 people so that we can create an office. We have a lot of job in this house. The ongoing remodeling is very free. We need some members to supervise it. So supervision of the remodeling. Please let me have the name. I want to know them for the remodeling. Who is that? Honorable Latif Oluwole Akanle and okay, down we Jojoko Tirawani Odebumi Idowu, the 2 of you, while we are going on break, all you need to do, the house, the supervision of the ongoing project, you will conduct it for us. For at the end of the day, 19 people voted yes, 2 said no, so the ayes have it. Arise.